Good morning, students, and welcome to Digital Classroom of Life Science. Today, we are going to discuss the classification of vertebrates. There are 5 prominent groups of animals under vertebrates: fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. So first, characteristics of fishes. Scales live in water, cold-blooded, they lay eggs, and they have gills. Next, amphibians. They have smooth skin, live in water and land. Cold-blooded animals lay eggs. Reptiles. They have scales, lay eggs, cold-blooded animals, and they have lungs. Next, mammals. They have hair or fur, warm-blooded animal, and they have lungs. And they give birth. Next, birds. They have feathers, warm-blooded animals, they lay eggs, and they have lungs. So this is the animal classification. All animals has been classified into two main groups. One is invertebrate, another one is vertebrates. And these are the subdivisions of vertebrates: fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Characteristics of fishes. The first one is species or fish. So characteristics of fishes. First one, all fish are cold-blooded, which is also called ectothermic. Next one, they live in water. They have gills to breathe. They have swim bladders, and they have fins for movement. So you can say fish are aquatic animals that live in seas, oceans, or freshwater bodies. They have a scaly, streamlined body. They swim with the help of fins and breathe through gills. They are cold-blooded, that is, their body temperature changes with change in the surrounding temperatures. Their skeleton may either be made up of cartilage, for example, shark, or bones, for example, salmon. Now see, this is cartilaginous fish, that's a shark, and this is rohu, that is a bony fish. Now we can say species is broadly categorized into two types: bony fish, whose skeleton is made of bones, and cartilaginous fish, whose skeleton is soft, flexible, and made of cartilage. Rohu is a bony fish, while shark is a cartilaginous fish. So, bony and cartilaginous fish differ not only in their gill and endoskeletal structure, but also in their response to meeting the challenges of an aquatic existence. See these two diagrams. This is a bony fish diagram and this is a cartilaginous fish diagram. Here they have gill, they have also gill, but along with the tooth. Next one is amphibians. Amphibians are small vertebrates that need water or a moist environment to survive. The species in this group include frogs, toads, salamanders, and newts. You can see frogs, toads, salamanders, and newts. The larvae are aquatic and free swimming. Frogs and toads at this stage are called tadpoles. At a certain size, the young develop limbs and lungs. So characteristics of amphibians are: eggs are fertilized outside of the body. Most amphibians reproduce in fresh water, while a few lay their eggs on land and have developed mechanisms to keep the egg moist. They are cold-blooded animals. They breathe through skin. They are carnivorous and they spend time in water and on land. That's why they are called amphibians. So, broadly, you can say amphibians are animals that live both on land and in water. Their life cycle is divided into larval or tadpole stage and adult stage. They have a moist, slimy skin and webbed feet. They can breathe through moist skin in water and through lungs on land. They are cold-blooded animals. Frogs and salamanders are amphibians. The next one is reptiles. The name reptile comes from Latin and means one who creeps. So characteristics are reptiles are four-legged vertebrate animals. Most reptiles lay eggs. The skin of reptiles is covered with scales. Reptiles have cold-blooded metabolisms. That means they are cold-blooded animals. Reptiles breathe with the aid of lungs. See some examples of reptiles. Skink, turtle, tortoise, chameleon, gecko, lizard, crocodile and snake. So you can say reptiles are a group of mostly terrestrial animals. A few may be aquatic. They are cold-blooded animals. They have a very dry and scaly body. They breathe through lungs. Snake, lizards and crocodiles are reptiles. The next one is birds or aves. See the bird's picture. The definition of a bird is a warm-blooded member of the aves class which has feathers, a beak, no teeth, wings, bears young in eggs. So that you can say birds are animals that can fly. They have a streamlined body covered with feathers. Their forelimbs are modified into wings for flying. They usually live on trees. They have hollow bones to make their body light so that they can fly. They are warm-blooded, that is, their body temperature does not change with a change in the temperature of their surroundings. Sparrows, pigeons, and crows are birds. The last one is mammals. Mammals are vertebrate animals constituting the class Mammalia and characterized by the presence of mammary glands, which in females produce milk for feeding or nursing their young. They have a neocortex, that means a region of the brain, special region of the brain they have. They have fur or hair on their body, or is their body covered with fur or hair, and they have three middle ear bones, that is malleus, incus and stapes, or hammer, anvil or stirrup. There are some examples of mammals. You can see giraffe, deer, horse, sheep, squirrel, dog, cat, pig, lion, monkey, elephant, mouse, goat, cow, kangaroo, otter, fox, raccoon, hippopotamus, mole, panda, walrus, chimpanzee, hedgehog, rabbit, zebra, bat, tiger. And the last one is human being. So that you can say mammals are mostly terrestrial animals. Their body is covered with fur or hair. They are warm-blooded animals. They give birth to young ones. The females bear mammary glands and feed their young ones with milk. They have two pairs of limbs. They breathe through lungs. Dogs, cats, whale, bears, and human beings are mammals. subject-related doubts or queries, please email me at shudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. We also welcome your responses by the way of your views and feedback on the PPTs or videos at feedback.stmichaelsacademy@gmail.com. Thank you, students, and have a nice day. And hope you have understood this video.